Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to interrupt this series because my oil sticks are not quite dry. They are, they're fixed, but I just don't feel comfortable working over top of them. So I'm going to leave them for another day or so. So I'm just going to put this aside. And since I was asked to share some of my favorite art products, I thought that I would do a video just sharing some of the things that I have used through the years and I continue to use. So I just want to start off by saying that I am a firm believer in start where you are and use what you have. You do not have to go out and buy like every single art supply. I know I've taken classes or I get on somebody's social media accounts and I see all the paints and art supplies that they're using and I'm like, oh my God, I want to get all this stuff. And I have fallen into that trap. And I say it's a trap because a lot of times when we have too much stuff, it can actually hinder our creativity. And Dr. Estes talks about this. I think she wrote an essay about it, if I'm not mistaken. And she talked about how having too many art supplies or creative, like just say you're a gardener, for instance. I'm just using that as an example. If you have too much stuff, it can actually hinder your ability to create. And I find that to be true. And a lot of times when we don't have something, it forces us to think outside the box and to become more innovative. And you see this happen all the time where people don't have a lot of, access to, like, say, what they need. And what is that saying? It goes, necessity is the mother of invention. It's a kind of a similar kind of train of thought. So I'm just going to share some of the things that I have, but don't feel like you have to go and buy all of these things. That is absolutely not true at all. So one of my favorite art supplies is actually a cheap lined composition notebook. And as you can see, it's just, just lines over here, nothing major going on. But one of the great things about using a cheap line composition notebook is that it's cheap. It's like $1. You can probably pick it up at, a big box store for, $1, especially during, pre going back to school sales. And then you don't have to worry about, oh my God, this is a $50 art journal and I'm worried about messing it up and whatever. None of that comes into play because it is so cheap. Another great reason to use it is because the paints, they don't sink into the fibers of the paper. They kind of float on top of it. Like if you are using a really expensive watercolor type of paper, all your art supplies are going to like sink into the very fibers of the paper, which is great. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. That's a great effect that it gives you. And I love expensive watercolor papers, but equally so, when the paints sit on top of the page, it gives you a sense of rawness and immediacy. And it's really something you cannot replicate with the more expensive brands of paper. And because it's mixed media, I mean, you're going to end up adding so many layers anyways. So you're going to build up your page. Another great reason to use these is I use them to journal, like just because, it has lines. So I journal, I write. And so you can just then go over top of it and you can add lines and marks and paints and splatters and you can turn it into collage. And I'm going to show you in a second here what I mean. So I'm just going to move this off to the side. So over here, this is probably just from, cheap line composition notebook. See right over here. And I wrote on it like journaling, and then I probably added some paints or whatever. And then I dipped it in a tea bath. And now it is just delicious, luscious, beautiful collage that I absolutely am obsessed with. So I'll get back to the, tea staining collage here in a minute. But another mixed media book that I like, art journal, is the Strathmore Mixed Media Art Journal. And this one over here, I want to say is anywhere from $26 to $30, depending on if you can find it on sale. And I usually get mine from Dick Blick, and it's got a lot of pages. One of the best things I love about this is the spine really holds very well. Like sometimes you can have an art journal, and because it's mixed media and I put so many layers and collage and all of this stuff, the spine will, it'll start to kind of break, but these spines are very, very well made. So I love these books, and it's got a lot of pages. I want to say it's like 52 pages. I could be wrong on that, but it's a good sized book, and I like it because it's not too big, it's portable. You know, I just love these books. So it's Strathmore Mixed Media Art Journal, and I'm gonna put that aside. So another substrate that I love is Bristol paper. It just has a very different kind of a quality than say your watercolor papers or your mixed media papers. It's kind of like a cheap line composition notebook in that the Bristol paper, it allows the paints to kind of sit on top of the page, but it is a more heavier quality paper than the cheap line composition notebook. And these are not expensive at all. This Strathmore Bristol paper, I want to say, is about $6. Sometimes you can get them on sale at Dick Blick for like, I want to say $4.50 or something. And when that happens, I stock up on it. So that's another favorite. And you can even like bend the pages, and you can make a junk journal out of it, or you can make an art journal out of it. So, you know, you don't have to just keep it in its form like that. So let's get to some of the actual like paints and stuff that I use. Oh, let me just talk about this Mod Podge for a second. So I used to use Liquitex matte. No, I used to use Liquitex gloss medium, okay? And then what happened, you guys, is that my art journal pages just stuck together. And like, this was many years ago, like 10, 12 years ago. And, you know, I just could not salvage it. Like, it was just literally like stuck together like glue, okay? And it was just devastating to me because, I mean, you know, you work on your art journal and now it's like, oh my God, you can't do anything with it. You have to throw it away, basically. Like, you cannot pry it apart. You can't even turn it into collage or anything. So what I did at the time is that I started researching all this stuff, and then I came across the information that don't use gloss, whether it's Liquitex or whether it's Mod Podge, whatever. Use the matte. Okay, and they said the gloss tends to stick more. Now, around the same time, I was like, really, I got into being interested in painting furniture, like using chalk paint and all this other stuff. So I had some leftover chalk paint, and at the same time that I switched from my gloss medium to matte medium, I also started using chalk paint. So I've never had a problem with my pages sticking since then. And I don't know, is it, you know, the matte rather than the gloss, or is it the chalk paint that's preventing the stickiness from happening? I don't know, but I just stuck with it because I'm like, oh my God, I don't ever want that to happen again. So I stick with Mod Podge matte, and I also love chalk paint. And the chalk paint that I use for my art is just, you know, you can buy it from a big box store. You can go to the craft section. I want to say that this particular 8-ounce bottle is about $8, and it lasts me like a long time. I can mix it with other paints. I can use it by itself. It's got really good covering power. It's really good when you want to write over top of it, like you put a coat on or 2 coats on, and then you allow it to completely dry, and you can go in with a pen or just a regular ballpoint pen or any kind of art supply, and then when you write over top of it, because it's chalk, it really takes to it. And I'll do a demonstration actually on what I mean in another video, but it's really like, it makes everything just pop. And my 2 favorite colors are Cashew, which is a warm white. I used to use titanium white all the time, but then I stopped. I like the Cashew. It's got a yellow, slight yellow undertone to it, and it's just warmer, and I love it. And I also use the ink, which takes the place of Payne's Gray. And these you can just buy, like say at Walmart. You can go to the craft section and they usually have it. And it also comes in like a very small bottle. I think it's like 2 ounces, and that's like under $2. And then it comes in a larger bottle as well. And I think that's about $14 for 16 ounces. So it's very affordable because it's going to last you forever. And it comes in different colors, but I just stick to these 2 over here. So I'm going to move that off to the side. Now I want to talk about this paint. This is Dilution's paint, and this is called Postbox Red. But actually this Like, look at this, you guys. Like, look at that. But this replicates my Liquitex CAD Red Light, which is like $100 million for the large tube that I get, and I just ran out of it. And I will purchase my CAD Red Light in Liquitex Heavy Body. I love, 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 love that color. I just happen to have run out of it recently, and it lasts forever. But I also have this, and it's very close to the Liquitex CAD Red Light. So I absolutely love this color. Like, it's just, oh my God, I cannot tell you how it makes my heart sing. But these are all very personal things. Like, you know, somebody else might look at this color and be like, ugh, I don't like it. It's garish, whatever. You know, all of this is very, very personal. But I'm just sharing, you know, some of my favorite art supplies. Now, this over here is Ranger re-inkers, and it's archival. This particular color is coffee, and I always get asked about the red one, you guys, and unfortunately I cannot give you the exact color because look, I cannot see anything on there. But I took a class a long time ago with Misty Mon, and she's an amazing mixed media artist, and I think she wanted us to buy all these inks over here, and then I put it away in my studio and I completely forgot about it, and I discovered it like 6 months ago when I was cleaning out my studio. So I started using it and I absolutely love it. Like, a little goes such a long way. It's archival. The inks are so luscious. I mean, the colors are radiant. They're just, I mean, you guys, like a millionth of a drop goes a long way. Like, so if you have a bottle of this, it's going to last you forever, and it's great quality, amazing range of colors. And I bought these like such a long time ago, so I'm sure that the colors are even, you know, more extensive now. And this is by Ranger. Now, this over here, you guys, is a very personal choice because of the skin colors that I want to paint. Like, I want to paint like rich brown skin colors. So this transparent burnt sienna by Liquitex is, oh my God, you guys, like, it is delicious. But it's not only for skin colors. It's also like, just say you want to age your papers. You want to make them look like really, really old. You know, it's great for so many different reasons, and it's transparent, so you can like use a wash, allow it to completely dry, and then you can add another wash. You can mix it. I love mixing it with alizarin crimson or with this delicious luscious CAD Red Light color. Like, mixing these two together, it just makes both of these colors just pop like crazy. I absolutely love this, and generally when I buy this, I buy like 6 bottles at a time because I use it. You know, sometimes I go without stuff because, like, sometimes when I run out of stuff, I will be like, okay, I know this is essential, but I'm gonna not get it for a couple of months because I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna see what I can do without using this. And then eventually when I do buy it, I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love this a million times more. Now this over here, you guys, is actually fabric paint. It's textile paint. And this particular brand is Primo. And I purchased this in Italy, and it's absolutely amazing. So even though I don't know that this is available in America or Canada or, you know, outside of Europe, I do think that textile paint is a really overlooked paint in mixed media, especially for the golds. Okay, and I love gold, you guys. I've got a ton of golds, everything from golden, Liquitex, FW, I mean, you name it, I have the gold. I've got like warm golds, I've got cool golds, I've got, you know, rose gold, I've got gold powder. I mean, I just love gold, you guys. So I love textile paints because I think they're just something that, you know, really pops. And I think if you go to like a fabric store, then, you know, you could check out the fabric paints and just see, maybe you can test them and stuff like that. So this particular color is Holbein Luminous Opera, and Connie Solera first introduced us to it when I went to Oaxaca, and just look at that, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, I could eat this paint. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Okay, I love that color. Now this over here, I really love. It's FW Indigo acrylic ink, and it's a blue, but it's a very like a moody, smoky, grayish blue. Like I absolutely, absolutely love, love, love this indigo. I used to actually buy like really big bottles of it because I used to use it so much. Now these over here are chibi paints. Like you can go to, I don't know, Michael's, you can go to Walmart, and these range anywhere from $1 to under $2, from $1 to $2. And I really like some of the chibi paints. Like this particular one is Apple Barrel Matte. I always get the matte, you guys. I don't ever get the gloss. The gloss just is icky to me. It's just too cheap. It's just, it doesn't sit right. I don't like the gloss. But the matte, some of the colors are really beautiful. Like this one is called King's Gold, and it's Apple Barrel in matte. And like it's a really beautiful yellow. Like look at this, you guys. Like it's just, like look at that. It's just beautiful. It's delicious. And it's like $1, I want to say. $1-ish. Now this, you guys, I buy this in bulk, okay? This is probably, I don't know, 6 months, maybe 6 months or more of a supply of my blue Stabilo pencils, and I buy them from Dick Blick. And when you buy them in bulk, like these are I think 12 to, well, these might be a little more than 12 in here, but when you buy them in bulk, then each pencil ends up being a little bit less. So this is my blue Stabilo, which I absolutely love. It goes on paper, glass, plastic, metal. You can dip it, you can use it dry. They're portable, they're delicious, they give you the most expressive, beautiful, delicious lines. So I love these blue Stabilos. And I want to say if you buy one, it's like $1.75 or so. And if you buy like multiples, then it's going to go down a little bit, you know, just a little bit. But it, you know, you'll probably end up getting a free pencil in the end. Anyways, these over here, these are invaluable. This is a grayscale and a value finder, and I want to say it's about $3 from Dick Blick. It's absolutely essential when you're first starting to figure out your values. You just put it against whatever value you want to figure out, and you try to figure out your values. And you want to use it to the point where you don't need it anymore. Like, you know, you just use it and you use it, and then you can kind of guess, oh, this is value number 9, this is value number 3. But this is so handy, you guys. And this particular color wheel is really is so amazing. I mean, you can do like it like, see, it's got like 3 little levels to it. I got this from Dick Blick. It was about $5, I want to say. And see, you can move this around, and it talks about like everything from your warm colors, your cool colors, your complementary colors, secondary, tertiary. It talks about, you know, density, intensity, tint, tone, shade, neutrals. It talks about split, complementary, harmonious color schemes. Like it's a really very useful color wheel. Now, of course, you're never gonna know everything there is to know about color, but this like kind of helps you a little bit. So I'm gonna put this away over here. And Posca markers, they are expensive, but they have never let me down. So I love my Posca markers, especially against chalk paint. Oh my God, so beautiful. Now over here, you guys, this is my tea bag stash. So I love, 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 love my tea bags. I just, you know, I think I did another video like many months ago where I kind of you know, showed you like exactly the tea bags I use and how I like take them apart and whatever. I just save all my tea bags, and this is my tea bag stash. I am happy as a clam with my tea bag stash over here. So these are all just found papers. This is a paper doily. This is my cheap line composition notebook with my handwriting, dictionary pages, just junk mail, my handmade collage. Just look at this, you guys. Just such delicious, luscious, crumply, just beautiful Collage. And all I did is I just collected my papers, I dipped it in a tea bath, and I allowed it to dry, and now you have Collage. I've got so many of these little stashes, and I just absolutely love, love, love them. So anyways, you guys, I hope that this was helpful. This is just, you know, these are just some of my favorite art supplies, but like I said, use what you have, start where you are. You do not need to buy all this stuff. It's fun, yes. It's always great to, you know, like once every couple of months to say, hey, I'm gonna go and try out an absolutely new art supply that I've never tried before, a new color that I've never tried before. I'm gonna experiment with it. That's really fun. And it's also like, you know, it does spark your creativity, but more so I find that, you know, just start where you are, use what you have, and don't feel like you need to buy everything. That can hinder your creativity as well. So thank you so much for being here, you guys, and I hope that this was helpful. Bye.